Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Pascack Clutch Podcast. We have a very big episode yet again for you today. It is September 27th, 2023. I'm Matthew Merlino, along with my co-host Sean Barry, Sam Koppelman, and Alex McKay. Unfortunately, Michael unable to be with us today. Let's start with Pascack Hills Sports. We'll mention boys soccer very quickly. They got their first win against Ridgefield Park this past week, 4-1. Nick Frangiosa, Christian Grubik, Zach Goldman, and Michael Chelney all scoring in that one. Girls tennis beat Pascack Valley 3-2 yesterday, 3 match wins to 2 match losses. Girls soccer won against Riverdale and Indian Hills in the past week, and we want to congratulate junior Hills soccer player Abby Roche on committing to Stony Brook for playing soccer in college. Girls volleyball had their only loss to Riverdale last Wednesday, but they've won every other match so far. You'll be able to see them right here on the PH Athletics YouTube channel today and tomorrow after school at around 5:30. And in Pascack Hills football, the Broncos beat Indian Hills 22-13. Jordan Morrell scoring all 3 touchdowns on the ground, along with an 80-yard kick return touchdown in the second half. As we said, coming up today after school and tomorrow after school, we have Pascack Hills girls volleyball, and then Friday night, Pascack Hills football back home against Dover. So, gentlemen, let's get started with the college game. We'll start with, I think we should start with Florida State beating Clemson in a big battle of 2 ACC schools. Clemson down to 2-2 now, and Florida State remaining undefeated with a 31-24 overtime victory over the Tigers after their kicker missed a chip shot field goal for the win. And that kicker, a big story for him. He pretty much left the team and then got called back in, took his first ever kick, made the field goal to put them up 3-0 at the end of the first quarter, but did miss in clutch time at the end of the game. Gentlemen, how about that for Florida State?
Yeah, I mean, I'm loving the start to the season so far for the Noles.
I knew they were going to win.
I mean, some of it was out of the blue, some of it wasn't. I mean, some of it...
May I just add, though, at the end of the game, right before they kicked the field goal, Sean goes, they're going to miss the field goal. Clemson proceeds to miss the potentially game-winning field goal. And then
no, it would have been the game-winning.
It
would have been the game.
The potentially game-winning field goal.
Well, I think they did have 2 minutes after it.
Yeah,
it wasn't that much.
It was like a minute.
Okay,
like a minute 30.
But still,
it
was potentially the game-winning field goal, but he missed. I believe he was wide right.
He was wide. Yeah. No, wide left.
Wide left. But yeah, he missed, and it was
that was crazy.
It was crazy. We
I
were
do
like,
think
Sean,
that
what happened?
Florida State did prove that they are actual
They're
good
for
football
real.
team.
They are for real. Coming into this one ranked 4, I think
Look,
they came
that was
out
the
to
first time in a long time that FSU has beat Clemson.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
a 7-game losing streak. I was going to mention that they
it's been
snapped it.
before Trevor Lawrence was there before.
So Jordan Travis, the quarterback for Florida State, is leading them, I think, to the playoff right now.
We're first in the ACC.
They came into this one.
They saw
ranked
Duke and
number
North
4.
Carolina in the
I think
ACC,
they came out ranked number 4. We'll go over the AP poll later on in this college segment. They're undefeated. Clemson now 2-2, and in the ACC they're tied with Louisville right now for the conference lead. Both of them are 2-0, but Duke and North Carolina also 4-0 in their overall play. So the ACC shaping up to be a pretty good conference to watch this year.
Really good this year.
In other games, Sean, I presume you're going to want to say a lot about this. Number 6, Ohio State. Number 9, Notre Dame.
Oh, yeah. Let's go.
After that game, I believe, and I think that Notre Dame is probably one of the most overrated college football teams right now.
And this is coming from a Notre Dame fan.
They cannot win a big game for their life. And I feel like they always lose in the big game. They either get crushed, they lose on a play call, or they just do something stupid or because of the coaching. And you would think that now they have Sam Hartman, a good quarterback, you would think Notre Dame would also throw the ball a lot more, but they kind of like run the ball a bit more. And even like on the last play on the field when Ohio State scored the only touchdown in 3 seconds, Notre Dame only had 10 players on the field.
Mm-hmm.
So
And I've seen it all across social media.
Yeah.
They've had 10 players on the field for many crucial defensive plays this year.
But I feel like Ohio State, they came to play.
I don't even know
They
why
got
they
the
only
dub.
had 10. They should have.
Because they're stupid.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I think that Notre Dame needs to rework some of their offensive coordinating a little bit more.
Well, the entire Notre Dame coaching staff, I think, has to be either reworked.
It's always the same stuff for Notre Dame
Yeah.
every
And
year.
maybe realize that they do need to
Bring
add
Lou
11
Holtz
players.
back.
And they
No,
probably
but like I feel like watching that game, Ohio State, I feel like they're definitely more of a bit more well-rounded team. Their defense is definitely
Yeah,
much
they've
more
always
better.
have been like that.
No, but their defense is so much more better now,
Mhm.
and I feel like they could. They're like I feel like they're the number one contender right now for a national championship after that game.
that game was very, very. It was very equal of a game.
It was interesting.
Very interesting. I mean, no QB had more than 250 passing yards, with Kyle McCord having 240 and Hartman, Sam Hartman maybe?
Yeah,
Sam Hartman having 175.
Mhm.
And really wasn't even a rushing game.
Yeah, because even for Kyle McCord, he's like
It was tight.
Yeah,
It was
but
just
no,
tight.
but like Kyle McCord, people are saying he's bad. This guy's not good. And look what he did. He performed well, and yeah, they won.
Yeah.
And brought the game-winning drive.
Touchdown. Yeah.
And so Ohio State's first big test goes down as a 17-14 win over Notre Dame's first big test. They're now 4-1. Ohio State now 4-0. There
They're
was
ranked number
6
4.
versus 9 coming into that. Notre Dame dropped a little bit. Ohio State went up a little bit. But still, in the Big Ten, Ohio State still to face Michigan and Penn State. And as we all know in football, that's pretty much the
I feel like
bracket
in
for
the Big Ten, I feel like any of those 3 teams can win this year. I think Penn State can, or Michigan, or Ohio State.
And if all
I
three
think
of them...
Penn State has. I think Penn State has a lot of work to do.
Yes.
Against like some of the bigger teams
as
in the
you-
Big Ten
as
or
like,
SEC
they have-
games.
Yeah,
But like,
they have Drew Aller now, so
Yeah.
like
yeah,
I don't know.
you just have to.
As usual with Penn State in the Big Ten, they're the underdogs
Yeah,
compared to
Yeah.
it's
Michigan
either
and
going to
Ohio
be
State.
Ohio State or Michigan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Michigan's looking really good this year. Also, again.
Yeah, well, they just got Harbaugh back this week and
Yeah.
ended up with a win against, I think UAB may not be them.
Well, here's another
lower
thing.
tier school.
Here's another thing. In the Big Ten East, when Michigan, Penn State, Ohio State, I think Penn State could definitely beat Ohio State or Michigan in one of those matchups. We could have a 3-way tie for first place. All those Michigan, Ohio State, Penn State, they could all have one loss. So I'll give you an example. Penn State beats Michigan. Michigan beats Ohio State. Ohio State beats Penn State.
So
Mhm.
it's,
I don't know how they choose who
I'm
wins
sure,
it
I'm
then,
sure
but-
it goes off of strength of schedule or total
Yeah.
points scored or
Yeah, because
something
then if
like
it goes
that.
off
Yeah.
the strength of schedule,
And
Michigan
the
goes
West is
last.
just
Yeah.
whatever. Wisconsin's
Yeah.
in first
But
right
if
now.
they were
Nobody-
going off
nobody
strength,
cares
if there was a
about the Big Ten
three-way,
West.
if there was a 3-way tie and they were going off of strength of schedule, Michigan would be last.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We all have to admit.
It'll
mean,
either
they're
be it'll
I mean,
probably be most likely Ohio State.
Yeah, I
most
mean,
likely.
they went against schools
Yeah.
I've never heard of. Like, they just...
Bowling Green,
Bowling
UNLV.
Green. Who is Bowling Green?
Yeah.
Some random school in Michigan.
I mean, as per usual, the first 2 or 3 weeks of college football is these big name schools winning by 70 over some random FCS team or
Yeah.
lower tier D1.
Yep.
So, in other Big Ten news, we did have Penn State crush Iowa in an unofficial whiteout at night, 31-0, the shutout final there. And at 3:30, we had a few good games. One of them not being Coach Prime's Colorado Buffaloes
That
coming
was
in
just
number
terrible.
19.
That was
You
terrible.
know what the problem with Colorado was?
Yep.
They are focusing too much on the media and the fame and the clout.
No, honestly,
Yes,
that's
they are.
Dion. That is Dion.
That's
That is
no,
not
Dion, but it
team.
rubs off on
No,
the
no, no.
players.
Before the game,
Part of it.
no.
Yes.
Part
Before
of it.
no,
But most of it
it's
is
half.
Dion.
No, it's half and half.
Most of it is
It-
Dion.
no, it's half and half. Let me tell you why. Before the field, Colorado, before the game started, a couple of days before the game, Colorado's team was on the field. They had their phones. They're like, oh, we're in the Pac-12 now. Oregon, watch out. And some of the players were also stomping on Oregon's logo.
Never
in
mess
the middle
with the
of the field.
midfield logo.
And look what
Yeah.
happened. Oregon took a
We
personal.
saw,
I mean,
we
I
saw
have to-
Juju
They
do
focused.
it a few times.
I have to
They
say,
got-
as
and
an
then they
Ohio
got
State
crushed.
fan, don't let someone stomp on your
And
logo.
Colorado had all their phones. Come on, guys.
They were.
People remember. I mean, do I have to remind you of the Baker and Nick Bosa thing
Mhm.
in the NFL?
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, Baker had to bring the Sooners flag onto the Ohio State.
Oh, do you remember
And then in a
that
few years
Dallas
later-
game when they planted the football after
Yeah.
the touchdown?
Mhm.
Exactly. What
Here's the thing:
Yep.
if Ohio State beats Michigan, I think Ohio State should plant their flag at Michigan because Michigan did to them.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, we gotta do it back.
well, maybe what they should do is have some professionalism and be the bigger school.
Nah.
No.
Wait, what do you mean by
Because
that?
What I mean is they don't do it because then they win and they come off as like good guys somewhat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause
They're-
compared to
they're
Michigan-
being the bigger person.
Yes.
Michigan-
Wait, so you're saying Ohio State should plant the flag or don't?
No.
I think they shouldn't, but we'll see. I really don't care.
It really depends on what the players think.
So the final score in that one being 42-6. Coach Prime outmatched and Colorado outmatched.
Absolutely.
knew
it was
after they
absolutely
were-
terrible.
It was
After the
terrible.
first
It was
They came-
terrible.
As you all said, they came in all this hype. Coach Prime talking to everybody.
Honestly,
all the players talking.
In my
to everybody.
opinion,
They lose the one guy, Travis Hunter, and everything goes to
in
crap.
my opinion, 90% of it is Dion. He was talking so much,
Yeah.
like so
See,
much
here's-
all over the media. He bought his team sunglasses,
Yeah.
easily,
But
thousands
speaking-
of dollars worth of sunglasses.
But
It was
speaking of,
crazy.
Here-
speaking of
And what he was saying in press conferences
Yeah.
throughout the week.
Just
Here's the thing
It's
with
not even the players.
over-
It's
the-
mostly.
yeah.
it was
Mostly
it was
Dion.
But
mostly
here's
Dion,
the thing.
but the players
Here's the thing.
got
Here's
caught
the
up in
thing.
it as well.
Dion is a coach now. He has to realize he can't
play
act
the
like
game.
a player
Yeah,
anymore.
he's-
Like you're.
and he's a college coach. You're
Yeah.
not an NFL coach.
So like, do you think
these are
that
children
Do you think
still,
that he's still
technically.
acting like a player and coaching like a player?
Yes.
Like
Look,
you
he's
can't-
always
and
been.
some
He's
of
always been, even during the press conferences when he was in the NFL, when he was in college and
Yeah.
everything. He was the exact same
Yeah.
then, and
Well,
he is now.
he's a character.
you can't.
Exactly.
And sometimes
yeah.
sometimes that character is good, but you have to back it up.
No,
And
but
they
like
didn't
the
back it up
problem
today.
is like you can't coach as a player. Like,
Exactly. You have to have, if you're a coach, especially in college, because they're
They're
18 to like
impressionable.
20-year-olds. They're, as you said, very impressionable. You have to be a role model to these kids. And I get what Dion's doing. Sometimes I like it, sometimes I don't.
And that
That's
also
just what
that also
happens.
puts more pressure on the son at QB too.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Because now you're overconfident. That gets your players overconfident. And then what happens when you go up against one of these big teams?
It's like
They play USC next
Yeah.
week. What are they going to do against them?
Yeah, I was gonna
Are they
say.
are they
Well,
going to
yeah.
continue the overconfidence, which
Yeah.
they probably won't? They will
Well,
probably
we haven't
go
heard
back into the
anything
room.
since.
Yeah, exactly.
See,
We've
This
heard
is-
like one press conference from
this
Dion.
is
Yeah.
this is the problem with
And that's it.
Colorado. Their confidence is like keep going up, over and up, and they just crash
And
down.
now they
fall.
crash down. So hopefully, what they will do is go back and they will look at what they did and they will change it. So now we might be able to see a good game against USC. And if they beat USC, Oregon's pretty much in the running for the Pac-12 final Pac-12.
If Oregon
championship.
does go undefeated and win the
Caleb
Pac,
Williams
yeah.
might not win the Heisman again.
But if Oregon does win the Pac-12 and go undefeated, they're making the playoff.
Are you sure?
Yes,
We'll see. We'll see. It's a 14 playoff. We'll just have to
It's-
see what
they're-
happens here.
Yeah.
they'll most likely will.
Also, some of the bigger games next week, or this upcoming week, we have Georgia versus Auburn, which, I mean, yes, Auburn's not ranked, but they still are 3-1. Then you have LSU Ole Miss, which I believe that is our game of the week for college.
We'll figure it out.
And yeah, I mean, you got Notre Dame versus Duke, but overall, a lot of the games are looking to be one-sided.
Yeah, going back to week 3, which is what we were going to stick with, Utah beat UCLA in another Pac-12 matchup between two ranked teams, 14-7. So UCLA gets their first loss on the year. LSU beat Arkansas in the battle for the Golden Boot. That puts them at the lead in the SEC West. Yet they still have to play Alabama, Texas A&M, and all those teams. 34-31 in that very close and back and forth game, rivalry game. So congrats to LSU. They came in number 12. I think they moved up to 11 or somewhere around there.
They're
and
12.
in another SEC game, we had Alabama beat Ole Miss 24-10. So speaking of, we'll go on to the AP poll real quick here. Georgia, Michigan, Texas all stay 1, 2, and 3. Ohio State up to number 4. Florida State down to 5. Penn State 6. Washington 7. USC 8. Oregon 9. And Utah number 10. Notre Dame goes down to 11. Alabama, LSU 12 and 13. And Colorado crashes out.
See, going over the AP polls, you would think that Notre Dame would be farther down. But as a college football committee, I think they see how Notre Dame was most likely the better team that whole game, and in Ohio State they scored. So they only bumped down to 11. Because if Notre Dame runs the table out and they go and they win the rest of their games, they beat their next big matchups, they can make the playoffs. But if they do, they are definitely going to be a 4 seed. And when you also look at the AP polls, for the Big Ten East, it's really going to be close because at 2 you have Michigan, then 4 Ohio State, and then 6 Penn State. They're all ranked in the top 10.
Yeah, also, in my opinion, I don't think with how Florida State played against Clemson that they should be 5. I think they should have stayed in that maybe 3 to 4 range.
Well, Clemson was unranked and Notre Dame was number 9.
That is true.
And Ohio State beat them, so I would think that they would move up to 4. But still, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter
until the playoff polls come out and until all these big schools start playing.
Exactly.
The first day when they released the college football playoff rankings is going to be Halloween at night. So
Halloween night, so that'll be a fun night. Before we get to the college games next week that we're going to watch, I just want to mention one thing. With the Pac-12 becoming the Pac-2, the original 12-team playoff format was they were going to have the top 6 ranked conference champions automatically make it. Now, they haven't changed it officially, but a lot of people are saying they're going to try and bring it down to 5 conference champions and then 7 teams making it at large.
what conference will they leave out then?
The Pac-12. They would have had all the Power 5 champs and one group of 5 champ make it, and now they're going to have, or they're trying to have just 5 conference champions automatically make it. So the games next week, Friday night, we'll talk about number 10 Utah against number 19 Oregon State. Oregon State favored to win that by just a little bit. USC favored by a lot to beat Colorado on Big Noon kickoff on Fox at 12 o'clock on Saturday. USC ranked number 8, Colorado unranked, 80, pretty much 90% in favor of USC on the ESPN matchup predictor. Georgia also 80% favored to win at 3:30 on CBS over unranked Auburn. Georgia number 1 and I believe their second SEC game. We have Kansas number 24 playing number 3 Texas at 3:30 on ABC in a Big 12 matchup. Both teams 1-0 in that conference. LSU number 13 playing Ole Miss number 20. That's our game of the week. We'll get back to that shortly. And Notre Dame, well, they have to win every game now. Losing one, they can't lose another or else it's over. Notre Dame number 11 now against undefeated number 17 Duke, who I think is a dark horse to win the ACC. That's at 7:30 on ABC. All right, guys, time for our picks for college football. 6 o'clock ESPN, our game of the week, number 13 LSU versus number 20 Ole Miss. Both teams 3-1. Michael already picked LSU. He gave us his picks before he left. So, what do you guys think? The matchup predictor says 56% Ole Miss, 43% LSU.
Going with the boys down in Louisiana.
All right, Sam with the quick pick to take LSU. I'll go with LSU as well. They're hungry. They're trying to get back to the playoff, where they haven't been since they won the Natty back in 2019.
Mm-hmm.
What do you guys think,
With the
Sean
boy
and
Joe
Alex?
Burrow.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Shiesty.
I'm going with LSU.
Sean,
Joe Burrow's been playing terrible lately.
the LSU fan going with LSU. Alex, you're left.
I'm going to be the odd one out and take Ole Miss.
And let's hope Miss loses by 40. So,
Probably will now.
And you know what?
I mean, hey, that's how we say let's hope Ohio State lost in
Yeah.
the most devastating way, but instead Notre Dame lost in the most devastating way.
and now
Maybe it's a
on
sign.
And now on to everybody's favorite sport, the National Football League. Will start on Thursday night. The Niners crushing the Giants 30-12 in San Fran. Giants, I don't know what's going on.
What
Just
happened?
Terrible.
Nobody thought they would
I
be
don't
this bad.
know either.
We thought that it would be we thought that they would be bad, but we didn't think it would be this bad.
Absolutely vile.
Yeah, I mean, we knew that there was gonna be something that was gonna happen, and what did happen was Saquon went down, but still, you guys.
Yeah.
It's just hard.
Bro,
It's
I don't
bad to
even
watch.
care about the damn Giants. Why are you looking at me?
Well, you're the only
fan.
Giants fan here.
I'm
Yeah.
not a Giants fan.
You're close enough.
Close enough, yeah.
I don't root for them.
On Sunday, we had a few good games. We'll talk first about the Packers coming back to beat the Saints 18-17. Jordan
Yeah,
Love,
it's fun.
260 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick, and Derek Carr going down with a concussion, I believe. I'm not sure about the latest.
He's been on concussion protocol. That's all we've been
Yeah,
using.
so we'll
Jameis
have
Winston's most likely to play the Sunday.
most
Well, they're
likely
gonna
going to
sc-
play
well,
this
they're
Sunday.
gonna probably
Oh, sorry,
lose in the next 3 weeks.
not concussion. Sorry, it was his right shoulder. I kept hearing it was.
Oh no, that's Jimmy G. That's
Yeah, Jimmy G was the
Jimmy G's
concussion.
on-
I kept hearing Derek Carr concussion for some
Well,
reason.
Yeah.
either way, Raider QBs
Yeah.
can't catch a break. So.
It was a right shoulder injury for Derek Carr. Sorry.
I saw it
and,
happen.
uh,
It was not a good sight.
So unfortunately, it looks like the Saints will be stuck with Jameis Winston.
Again.
Well, I guess the big story of the week was Miami versus Denver. Miami scoring the most points by an NFL team since 1966, 3 points away from tying the all-time record. 70-20 final score.
70-20.
And Broncos now 0-3. We expected that. We
Broncos
didn't expect
country
this.
is not riding.
Should I say
Broncos
Broncos
country-
country? Let's cry.
Yes, that's what
Yeah.
you should say. It's very, very unfortunate. Sean Payton can't even get Russell Wilson.
and
Well, it's
may
not
I
even
say-
It's not even Russell Wilson's fault.
No,
Can't even blame the
Their
guy.
defense just sucked. That
Sean
game.
Payton is a very overrated coach, in my opinion.
I agree.
Yeah.
The Broncos are a joke.
They're just the joke of the league
Yeah,
now.
and may I add, imagine losing 70-20 to a team that their head coach used to be the ball boy for your team.
Yep, Mike McDaniel.
And not even giving it an interview.
Yep.
To be a coach.
Yep.
It's actually so funny.
That's incredible.
But
Very, very nice.
You know what
The
team-
irony.
You know what team looked good this past week?
What?
Kenny Pickett, the Steelers.
Yes, they did, but that was because Josh McDaniels wasn't able to understand the concept of a 2-point conversion. We'll get there. We had the Chargers and the Vikings play in the usually bad teams, but sometimes good, as we saw last year, the Fraud Bowl, I guess we can call it.
Yeah.
Chargers won 28-24 there.
In a very exciting game.
Yes, I want to talk about the Jets real quick. They lost 15-10 to the Patriots. Everybody's talking about Zach Wilson. He sucks. We knew this.
washed.
That's why Aaron Rodgers. How is he?
Yeah.
How is he washed?
How
Did
is
the
he
Jets
washed?
He's
sign
never been
Trevor
good.
Siemian?
Trevor Siemian, our former quarterback, to now be on the practice squad. But who cares about him? Zach Wilson, of course, needs to go. That's why we brought in Aaron Rodgers. But guess what? I think the problem is Robert Saleh, our head coach. He's trying to stick with Zach. It's not working.
It's never gonna work.
Do you know who you
It's
should bring
never
back?
gonna work.
Mark Sanchez.
I'd rather not. Saleh just.
I think he
feel
would rather
like
die.
Saleh needs to go. And Douglas, the general manager, I like him. He made some great picks, but how do you not account for the offensive line with a 40-year-old quarterback in your backfield? How do you not account for if that quarterback goes down if you're not going to have an offensive line? How do you not get a backup when you know Zach Wilson is absolute dog crap, so nobody knows
Literally the epitome
Why-
of dog crap.
why is he still here? And I think Saleh, unless he somehow turns this around, he needs to go as well. So-
Something absolutely needs to happen with that.
That's my piece with
Look,
the Jets.
I have a hot take with the Jets. They can do one very big thing, in my opinion. Two very big things. Either trade for Kirk Cousins, because he's on pace to go 0-17 and possibly be a really good quarterback
Yeah,
this
how do
season.
you-
And he's on his last year of his contract.
He's
Exactly.
on pace to throw over
And he's not gonna wanna
6,000
resign.
yards and throw 2,600 of these
Yeah,
those
exactly.
yards to Justin Jefferson,
Yes.
and still projected to go 0-17.
And you have Garrett Wilson, who is kind of like Justin Jefferson in New York,
Exactly.
Just younger.
And then you have
with a better
Or-
defense.
or you
dare I
have-
say, despite the Jets' defense being massively overrated.
Or you have my savior from 2017 sitting on his couch at home, Nick Foles.
Do you know who they should bring?
Big man Nick.
Do you know who the
I
Jets
think
should sign?
Kirk Cousins or Nick Foles could be that piece that they
Yeah.
absolutely
Not,
need. At
do
this
you know what
point.
I heard? I heard that what could happen is they go after Andrew Luck.
Absolutely
What the
not.
thing
Like
is-
he would come back.
Absolutely
yeah, the thing
not.
is,
For
why
the
would
same
come back
situation
for the
he had in
Jets?
Indianapolis.
Yeah.
But also
Zero offensive
it's
line.
said
No.
that the only chance that Andrew Luck would come back to NFL is not to play, but to coach.
Yeah.
Right now, he's coaching the high school.
That would
league.
that
school
would be pretty
football
funny.
team.
Yeah.
That would be pretty funny
But,
if,
like,
Andrew,
there's
if
no
Andrew Luck
way.
comes back
and wins the Super Bowl.
and wins the Super Bowl with the Jets. That would be pretty funny.
That'd be funny.
I may. We'll see. We'll
But
see.
I think that those are
Blockbuster
two
movie.
extremely viable options for the Jets at this point in time. Because look, they're not going to get better if they
They
and
should
they're not
sign
gonna-
Adrian Peterson.
if
Adrian Peterson.
they're not going to do any
They'll put
better
around the
if
kids.
they just stick with Zach Wilson and settle down and wait for Aaron Rodgers to get back. It's not physically possible.
Well, I think they knew if Rodgers went down, the season was pretty much over.
yeah, and it was
So-
yeah.
They should trade.
But there's still so much good stuff that they can do with either of those two things.
Wait, why do you think the Jets should fire Salah?
Because I don't think he's getting the job done.
No, he's not.
He's not. He's sticking with the quarterback who he pretty much tried to
No.
retire.
You know
and
he
ha-
can't
and,
do anything.
And the team has little to no confidence.
He's just not cut out
the
for
only
the NFL.
the only reason they have confidence in him is because Rodgers said
he might be back.
he may come back. Or no, it's because Rodgers said that to have like some faith in Zach, and now they know they
shouldn't have.
faith.
They shouldn't have had faith in Zach in the first
No.
place. Like he's just not cut out for the NFL.
In other news, we had the Colts upsetting the Ravens in overtime, 22-19. Big game for kicker Matt Gay, kicking 4 field goals over 50 yards, which is a record. And that last field goal beat the Ravens in overtime.
After
a guy managing to upstage Justin Tucker in the
yeah,
kicking game.
somehow
Yeah, and I had Justin Tucker on my
Somehow
fantasy
Justin
team.
Tucker
And he
who
missed a
has
kick.
He has made a 66-yarder for the NFL record. He missed. He actually kicked the ball short on a 61-yarder.
Very
5 yards
interesting.
short.
It was great, but although he
And they lost
he
to
put
the
up,
damn Colts, bro.
you know
Like,
what? I
how?
can't even complain. He put up what he was projected to put up in
Yep.
fantasy. He
Yep.
put up 7.
Mhm.
I'll
Fair.
take it.
We did have in Kansas City nothing else happening as the Chiefs beat the Bears 41-10, and I think everybody should say it with me. Cowboys.
What happened?
28-16 the final as the Cardinals get their first win on the year. The Cowboys get their first loss. The loss of Trayvon Diggs may be so impactful.
I guess now when the Bears and Cardinals face off in week 15 or whatever they
Wait,
face off,
isn't
it's not gonna
it
be
Bears Broncos?
Broncos this week.
Yeah.
When on Thursday night?
No, it's not
Monday
Thursday
night.
It's just a regular
It's-
one.
I was
Yeah.
just right. Sure.
It's 1 o'clock, but it is on
Yeah.
CBS, and somehow Denver's projected to
Oh,
win.
Both teams do not deserve a
3-0 win.
No
to
teams
Denver.
deserve a win.
What they should do is
Cancel the game.
No. What they should do is have that as like a sort of Super Bowl game, but whoever loses goes to the XFL.
Yeah.
Whoever won the XFL goes to the
Yeah,
NFL.
it's like
That's what they
like-
should do. It's
yeah,
like the
like-
Premier League.
yeah,
Yeah.
like the
Like,
Prem.
imagine if you're a Bronco or Bear fan and you're hyping up
Like
all this
relegation.
weekend just to
Relegation. That would be so fun.
They should have that.
I
Like,
think they should relegate.
they should have that.
No, if if American sports had relegation like they did in in football,
Yeah.
it would be it would be
It
so
would.
fun.
No, because
It would be good.
think about it, because they're saying with the Pac-12 becoming the Pac-2 and then trying to merge with the Mountain West Conference,
Yeah.
they're saying they may have that.
Yeah.
Like the Pac-12 would be the Prem, the Mountain West would be like the second division, and they could have like two teams.
Yeah, relegation.
The top 2 teams move up, and the bottom
Bottom
2
two
teams
teams
in the
move
Pac-12
down.
move down.
How much people were you gonna watch the Bears versus Broncos game?
Nobody.
Only the fans.
Nobody.
And
No, the
unless
fans won't
something
even watch
happens
it.
on Red
No,
Zone.
it's gonna be terrible.
The Denver
Bro, I swear to God,
Broncos
I
and the
swear
Chicago Bears.
the score is gonna be like 3-0.
Yeah.
That's how bad it's gonna be.
Yeah.
Or it'll be like.
And you know what's
7-0.
funny?
Yeah.
People were hyping up the Bears, saying that they were going to be good with all these moves and stuff.
No, it's gonna be 2-0 with a safety.
And he said that the Bears were going to blow out the Packers. Like, no, Jordan Love's good.
I never
the
said that
Packers
they'd
are good.
blow out
Yes,
the
he did.
Packers. I
He
said
did.
that they
He
could
did.
beat them.
No.
But I never
You
said
said
I don't
he
think
said
blown
no.
out.
He
All
said
right, all right.
Packers and Bears in week
Leave
1.
it be. Leave it
No.
be.
But
No,
we
We
have
have a few other things to talk about. First of all, this bum Alex's favorite team. His coach can't understand the 2-point conversion.
I gave up on
He
Josh
said, all right,
McDaniels
fine.
when
The
he
final
signed
thing
him.
he did say, though, he said that
This
it's
was like
not.
2 weeks
I don't care.
ago.
He said that it's not going to be a close game, and he said that the Bears are going to win.
I never said it would be blowout though.
So,
or close. I said it would be
Sunday Night
close
Football.
game.
Okay.
Yom Kippur the next day. Thank you, Jewish God, for the holiday.
We loved it.
And the break.
Except for
Happy
me, except-
holidays, Sam.
You gonna say that's happy? That's not very happy.
Kenny
Why?
Pickett balled out,
I'm
bro.
literally
Oh, right,
starving
because
all
you're
day
fast.
long.
I'm sorry.
But
Well,
you-
for
but you
us,
get to
for
watch
us, it's
football.
happy
Okay.
because we get school
All right.
off.
Speaking of
And
Sunday,
good football.
Yeah.
speaking of Sunday Night Football, Kenny Pickett and the Steelers balled out.
Yep, 235 yards, 2
Eagles-
touchdowns for Pickett.
Eagles played great on Monday night.
And the Eagles survived Monday Night Football.
Oh, that was great though.
I
That was a
knew-
great
I knew
game.
Big
They had
Well, of course they're
Uh,
gonna win. They're
they got
versus the
2
damn
fumbles.
Buccaneers.
They-
bro.
Well, we did think last week that.
All right,
I
but
said it
still.
last week. Baker Mayfield has gone against bad opponents for the first 2
Look,
weeks.
it was
That's why he
two
won.
fumbles that game for the Bucks.
Well, the Eagles
2
have-
interceptions.
Eagles in primetime have always been in sloppy games. Last week you had a lot
Yeah.
of those
Way.
interceptions and fumbles.
But you know what? Honestly, I can't complain. What Jalen Hurts had 2 interceptions that game.
Yeah.
I mean,
So,
like
okay,
final
okay.
score for the Raiders,
no, they played.
23-18.
Their defense played fantastic.
Yeah.
There was a couple of really good plays from the
Jalen
offense. I can't
Hurts
complain.
is not playing on MVP performance level.
Yeah.
Man,
So
they
Raiders
throw 2
lose
picks,
23-18
Yeah,
to the
only 2.
Steelers on Sunday
Fine.
night. In the one Monday night game, we had the Bucks lose
2.
to the Eagles 25-11. There were
There
two.
was, there was
yeah,
also
were-
the Rams and Bengals, which that game,
That was terrible.
nothing
Who
happened.
won that game? Bengals. or
Bengals
Rams?
won it
Bengals won
19-16. It was like all field
19-16.
goals.
They were up
Jesus.
10 points with the final minute.
That's
Rams then got a touchdown to Tutu
Is
Atwell.
Burrow so hurt? No.
Burrow
No.
he's like questionable, but he should be good.
He
Yeah.
played.
The Bengals are gonna win that game ever since they went up by 10.
Yeah. Thursday night football next week. We have Detroit against Green Bay, and what should be a good one. Our game of the week is Miami Buffalo. We'll make our pick shortly. The Sickos game of the week, as we mentioned, is Denver versus Chicago. Good luck to anybody who watches that. The NFL should refund
It's
your
gonna be
tickets.
terrible.
Eagles play Washington next week. Tampa Bay plays New Orleans. Watch out for a fight in that one, as Sean said. Raiders play the Chargers. Both teams 1-2.
Both teams suck.
Jets play Kansas City Sunday night. Get ready for a blowout. And Giants play Seahawks Monday night. Get ready for a blowout there as well, we think. Let's make the picks, gentlemen, before we run out of time. Dolphins, Bills. Michael said his pick was the Dolphins. Sam, we'll start with you.
This isn't ASMR.
This is a very hard pick.
Oh, come
Well,
on. This is
I'm-
not
let's
Notre
be
Dame
I'm
or
gonna go.
Ohio
I'm gonna go with the
State
Dolphins.
game, bro.
I'm gonna go with the Dolphins.
All right, Sean.
I'm going with the Buffalo Bills.
Big pick. Alex?
Going with the Bills. They have better defense. A way better
I'm
defense.
I'm going with Miami. It's going to be a shootout, but we'll
Really
have to
is.
see.
The game's gonna be 3-0.
And we want to mention very quickly, with the MLB season coming to an end this week, Baltimore and Tampa Bay fighting for the AL East crown.
Oh, this is the
Minnesota clinches the Central. Texas, Houston, and Seattle all still fighting for the AL West.
Phillies clinched though.
Phillies
Yeah,
clinched a
start
spot.
October again.
The Braves clinched a
Like
NL
a
East
month
championship. Brewers clinched the NL Central, and the Dodgers clinched the NL West in the wild card for the AL. Tampa already clinched; they're already in. Toronto 1.5 games up. Houston right on that line, and Seattle only a half game back. So that AL
Quick
wild
big-
card race is good to
Quick big
watch.
stat. I think it's been 20 or 30 years, and this
Since what?
since either the New York Yankees, Boston Red Sox, or Chicago White Sox have not been in the
Yeah,
playoffs.
I saw that this morning. I think it's.
But you know
since
who are making the
93.
postseason this year?
Who?
The Brewers.
Yep.
Brew Crew.
Sean's apparently a Brewers fan. Phillies clinch a
That'll
playoff
last
spot in the
about a
NL,
week.
but the Diamondbacks, Cubs, Marlins, and Reds all still fighting for those two
Crazy
NL
season.
wild card spots.
Yeah.
Arizona
what?
had a big turnaround.
No, sorry.
Now we have,
Diamondbacks, Cubs, Marlins, Reds, and Padres. 5 teams still in contention for the
Yeah.
NL wild card. So
Yeah.
that'll be
I
good to
feel like
watch.
crazy
And
thing-
they're all
yeah.
within 5 games, pretty
Yeah,
much.
the
Yeah.
crazy thing is, yes, there's out of all the 5 teams, the Padres probably not going to make it. They're 3 games behind the Reds, who are the 4th to last team to make it. It's probably going to be Diamondbacks and Cubs.
Diamondbacks had a good season. They had a really big turnaround season.
Yeah. Miami is probably going to do Miami things and
Yeah.
miss by half a game. The Reds, yes, they had a really good season, but I think it's
Ellie De La Cruz is overrated.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
gonna next year is gonna really show if De La Cruz and the Reds are them.
Yep.
But yeah, no, it's probably gonna be Diamondbacks.
And how are the Mets going to do next season?
Well, we'll
maybe-
get there when we get there.
Yeah, I mean we have a bunch of rookies coming up, so
And with that, I think we should end this very productive episode of the Pascack Clutch podcast. For my co-hosts Sean Barry, Sam Koppelman, and Alex McKay, I'm Matthew Merlino. Thank you for joining us this Wednesday, and we hope to see you next Wednesday for yet another episode. And we got one more thing.
The college basketball schedule has been released.
Well, we'll
It's
talk about
been
that next week,
released
I think.
for weeks, bro.
College basketball coming, but nobody really cares until March, so we'll
Yep.
talk about it then. Thank you all for joining us once again.
Unless
on the
seeing all
Pascack
Big
Clutch.
East matchups.
Exactly. Thank you again for joining us on the Pascack Clutch. I'm Matthew Merlino, and we hope to see you next